Greetings and welcome, and we're in glorious sunny Eastbourne today. Beautiful Eastbourne. Just trying to negotiate my way around here. I think if I take a left here I should be able to get onto the beautiful, look at that, the lovely beautiful Eastbourne pier. You probably get a little bit bored of Brighton pier in all my videos, so it's nice to mix it up a little bit. But anyway, come and join me as I drive back to Brighton. As always with my driving videos, I'll timestamp all the various different things that I talk about. But you saw the title of the video, and the main topic of today's video is turning 40, turning middle age. A couple of weeks back I turned 40. I went on a little bit of an epic holiday with my wife around the Philippines. Got to spend some time with different cultures and spent a lot of time in a mountain province. I got tattooed by a lady 107 years old there. Incredible time spent. It was a real eye-opener, and I purposely wanted to do it around my 40th birthday because it's that time in everyone's life, isn't it, where they sort of it's a big change. The other birthdays, I don't really care so much, but I think it's that official time when you reach 40 where you can officially class yourself as not young anymore. You're middle-aged. Your 20s, your 30s, you're young, and that's that time. And I want to talk about a few things. First of all, I do want to mention that as the clock struck 12 o'clock midnight on my birthday of 40th, being 40, I wanted to do something I've never done before. So I decided to take a dump in this hole at Kuala Lumpur Airport. Start as you mean to go on. I wanted to try and do something I've never done before. That's something I've never done before. I've never squatted over a hole and taken a poo. So that's how I started my middle age, my first few minutes of being 40. That's how I spent them. But yeah, anyway, I want to talk about various things about turning 40. I guess the three main categories I want to talk about is physically, the changes that I feel about turning 40, mentally, your outlook at life, what you think, like I just mentioned, you're no longer young anymore, your outlook on life, what you think about. And finally, I want to talk about this fear that a lot of people have when they get middle age and older, their fear of the world that they're leaving behind, the youngsters, the generation that they're leaving. Yeah, I'm going to touch on a few of these things. But yeah, first, physically. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things that I've noticed when you get to this age, middle age. First thing I noticed is, like, when you go to the doctors now, they don't really care about your problems. Like, if you're in your 20s or whatever, you go to the doctors and you go, I'm getting a little bit of like pain at the bottom of my back or something. They go, oh shit, really? Okay, yeah, we'll send you to the specialist. We'll make sure you get that sorted out. When you go to the doctors when you're in your 40s, they kind of just go, yeah, that's just your life now. You just, it's not working as well as it used to. This is what they tell you when you go to the doctors now. This is what they don't actually really sort any problems out for you. They're just like, yeah, that's life now. Every now and again you'll have to sort of deal with a little bit of back pain here, a little bit of creaking here. That's just what happens. And I'll go like, well, yeah, I also keep like getting this like dry rash at the back of my ears. The doctor's like, oh yeah, we can prescribe you a cream for that, no problem, we got a cream, we can sort you out. I'm like, okay, great, so that'll get rid of it. Well, no, it'll just like get rid of it for a bit, and then it will like come back again in like a few weeks time, and you just have to keep putting the cream on. So that's my life now, is it? I just have to put up with a few aches and pains here, apply cream to the back of my ears every couple of weeks. I also get a rash under my arm sometimes. I've got a different cream for that. That's the same thing. That will just come now and again. Now and again, it will just be really itchy, and you just have to put some cream on. And yeah, that's just your life now. That's just what you have to deal with. No one tells you about this stuff. All the different ointments and cream that you have to use, and different parts of your body that start creaking a little bit more, and the rash that comes here, and you have to use this cream for that and that cream for that. No, you don't have to do any of this stuff in your 20s and 30s. And I guess sticking on the topic of physical, the obvious one is always the hair, isn't it? People get, that I think that is the hardest for men to deal with, because like I say, talking about when you get into your 40s, it's officially you're no longer young anymore, right? Really. And but you can always have this age is just a number, and you're as old as you feel and all this stuff. But losing your hair and going bald is the only real telltale sign that you are old, especially if you lose it quite bad. That is the official sign that, yeah, really, you can't hide it, you're getting old. If you start going bald at the time, this is what a lot of people have a problem with. And there's loads of different remedies now and stuff, isn't there? Like, you can get a pill for like 15 quid a month that you take every single day, but do I really want to add to the endless list of creams and pills? Add another one, and 15 quid a month, is it really that important? I don't know. It depends how bad it's going, doesn't it? But to be honest, the majority of people just look great when they just shave their hair, don't they? Just shave it. Just shave your head. So I'm starting to go bald here. The best that I do is I use that like caffeine shampoo that's supposed to help. Cost the same as normal shampoo. Give it a go. It might keep what I've got already, but yeah, it's a hard one to take for a lot of people. Baldness stuff. They don't like it. But mainly the aches and pains and the different things that are out of control that you just have to live with now. That's the main thing I think that I've noticed about turning 40 is just things no longer get fixed anymore, and you just have to deal with little things that just don't work as well as they used to. And that's another thing about getting old. You just have to slow down slightly, don't you? Getting on to the next subject of your outlook of life. You do just generally need to slow down, but I'm actually looking forward to this now. I'm looking forward to just slowing down. You don't have to make sure you're going out every single weekend and living life at 100 miles an hour. I'm actually looking forward to just having a bit more of a simple life and slowing down. And folks, sorry, a little bit of technical issue there. We've time jumped a little bit. We're now in New Haven, but I just finished up on the physical side of things. So it's time to go on to the next category. I want to look on outlook on life. I think one of the hardest things that people try to get grips with when they turn middle age is, they're no longer young anymore, and that transition, they're used to doing youthful things like going out every night and doing this sort of thing, but you just need to slow down a little bit. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to slowing down a bit. You don't have to live life at 100 miles an hour. You don't have to go out every single night. And what I've come to appreciate with my time in the Philippines, spending a lot of time with folks that are just living a real basic life, that's what I'm looking forward to. I think so many people get unhappy when they get to middle age because they're permanently on this quest for this perfect life. They look back at their life, at mistakes that they've made and the choices that they've made, things they could have done better. Have they lived the best potential of their life? You look at divorce rates and stuff like that. So many people leave their partners because they're, on some quest for something better. And so, they should be leading their life much better. And I guess what I've come to terms with is, a basic boring life is pretty damn good. If that's what you have, you're pretty lucky. When you think about the cards that you could have been dealt, you could be in Gaza right now, you could be a soldier in Ukraine, you could have been in North Korea. You think about all those Ukrainian soldiers that died that would have loved to have been able to reach the age of 40. If you're at middle age and you're depressed and unhappy and you're thinking, have I got the best out of life? Everyone can look back at their life and think of things that they could have done better. But if you've reached the age of 40 and you're alive and you've got a roof overhead, you've got food, and luckily if you've got people around you that you love and care about, then you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good, and that makes for a pretty good life. I would be happy on that. But yeah, so I think so many people just get so depressed with themselves because they're on this constant quest for this perfect life that is never really attainable. And when you get to 40, you think, have I wasted my youth? Whatever you've done, whatever sort of things you happen, you ain't never going to be able to change it. But going forward, I personally am looking forward to slowing down. I really am. And you just do things at a different pace, you know. A good example for me is music festivals. I love music festivals, always have. Some of my fondest memories from life have come from music festivals. And in your 20s and 30s, you do them at 10 million miles an hour. You wake up every morning, have 10 beers, and then go out. But I've found as I get older, you can't do that anymore. Of course you can't. But I still enjoy music festivals in a different way. I've slowed down. I don't wake up every morning, have 10 beers. I go into the arena. I come back in the middle of the day and have a little rest. Have a little nap sometimes if I need to. Yeah, of course I have a few beers and I get drunk in the evening. But I just do it at a slower pace. And that's what I'm going to do. That's my attitude to life right now. And my main attitude to life is just the most important things. I don't care about this quest for a perfect life, or what you should be doing here, or what job you should have, or what car you should have, or what events you should be seen at, and taking pictures of yourself and posting them on Instagram and hoping that you get recognition this way. The only thing that I care about going forward for the next decade, which I'm really looking forward to, is my close friends and family, just spending time with them. I don't have a big circle of friends, you know. I think that's another thing that happens as you get older into middle age, isn't it? You kind of, when you're younger, you have a bigger circle of friends, but you know, life happens, people move on. It's not necessarily you fall out with people, but different people's lives take different routes, and you kind of have a core circle of friends and family that you really care about. And I'm looking forward to spending time with them and just slowing down. You don't have to go out all the time. You don't have to make sure you're going to this event and spending money here and going to that restaurant. Or just, I feel the quality of life. Like I say, I've got this view, this life view, from just spending a lot of time with people that just really enjoy the basics of life. Food and family and friends around you. You got those basics, you're on course for a good life. That's my point. So finally, I want to touch on this. You find this a lot in people middle age, but people that are older as well. This constant fear and anxiety of like the world they're leaving behind for their grandchildren, and this fear of the youth of today, and they don't understand the world nowadays. And you know, I think this is obviously common. I think everyone gets this when they get to the end of their life. They don't recognise the world. The world has changed vastly, whichever time period you're in. I know with the internet age, it has been exacerbated quite massively, but go back to any generation. If you're up to 70s, 80s, 90s, the world is going to be completely different to what you know. And a lot of fear and anxiety, and it's such a shame, and it's what I do a lot of videos on my channel, really, and I take the piss out of it, but it's sad. It's really sad in a way that a lot of the older generation just spend their later years just moaning and just having so much anxiety and fear about the world that they live in right now, and that's how they spend their later years. Just being scared, just being afraid of people maybe that have different skin colours than them nowadays, or maybe people talk slightly differently, or maybe there's a lot of things that you don't understand. Pronouns, LGBT, what's this flag, what's this? It's unfamiliar to you, it's scary, and the world has changed drastically and you don't like it. And it's another common thing that everyone always has fond memories of the time of their youth. Of course they do. Everyone always thinks back to when they were happy, when they were youthful. And if the world has changed drastically from that time, it's going to be scary, I guess, for a lot of people. They're not going to be familiar with the world at the moment. But it's almost like, arrogance is quite a strong word, but it's the only word that I can use in this example, where it is kind of a little bit arrogant to think that your youth, that what was going, the people's skin colour around that time, the culture around the time of your youth is the best, and it should stay like that forever. It is a bit arrogant in a way to think this, that it's the only, people will only be happy if things were the same as in my youth. And yeah, it is a shame. I take the piss out of it a lot in my videos, because I'm always, I think always the best way to highlight things is with humour, isn't it? You know, just try and take the piss out about how ridiculous it is, of older people just constantly spending their whole time damning the youth generation, damning the world that we're living in. You know, of course, there's a lot of scary things that comes with the internet age, with social media and AI and things like that. But I'm confident the kids are smart. Kids are smart. They're going to get used to this. Everyone's a product of their environment. They will adapt. They're living in a world. A lot of kids now, people that are entering adulthood, have only known the internet age, have only known the social media age. These guys are going to be able to adapt. And generally, when you look at the history of the world, when you look at things like infant mortality rates and crime and stuff like that, the standard of living has constantly always gone up. And I don't see any different. I know some aspects of AI and stuff are scary, but it will improve medicine. It will improve our lives on the whole. There will be negatives, of course. But as a whole, standard of living will increase and get better. Stop worrying about things that are out of your control. And I guess that's my overriding message to people that have got concerns about the future as they get older and are scared of the youth and the way the world is going. You know, just stop. None of this is in your control. You know, and it's the kids' turn now. You've had your turn. You've lived your life. So let us go. You've lived your life. You've had your generation. You've had your turn. It's their turn now. Let them deal with it. They're smart. They've adapted far better to this world than you have. They will adapt further. Everyone, over every single generation across the history of time, has just had to adapt and evolve to their environment. The kids will do it. They'll do it fine. Just spend the rest of your days with the people that you love and care about, and just be positive. All this negativity from the older generations, it's so sad. It really is sad. Just constantly spending all their time worrying about the way their country looks now. People look slightly different. There's different cultures coming in. Do you know what? Just because things were different in your time, it doesn't mean it was the best. Was your generation the best there ever was? Is it a model for the best way to live your life? It's quite arrogant, I think, in a way. You know, young kids now, they got it sorted. They're smart. They know what to do. And yeah, I think that'll do it for that video. If you enjoyed the video, click a like. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe up top. Please give me your comments. Am I bambling absolute shit? Have I turned into some sort of middle-aged travelling hippie just because I spent a bit of time with some people in a mountain tribe? By the way, I'll put my links down below if you want to check out what I got up to in the Philippines, my Instagram, TikTok and that. I've got loads of videos. That mountain province was incredible though. The 107-year-old lady tattooist, Apa Wang, what an incredible woman. I mean, I find this stuff fascinating. She was tattooing people in the 1920s. She was tattooing people when that was a really remote tribe where guys would get tattoos when they've slaughtered and chopped the heads off of any invading tribes and brought them back. You know, these are the sort of tattoos that this lady was doing, and now I have a tattoo on my arm. Incredible experience. It really was an incredible experience. But yeah, am I just bambling hippie traveller crap? Do you agree with my outlook on the world? I mean, when I talk about the older generation and the kids take, I don't want to say that there isn't a purpose for the older generation. We have a lot of wisdom and experience, and we should share that with the younger folks. But just don't constantly think that the world is just going into absolute catastrophe just because it looks vastly different from when you were a kid. Anyway, I'll leave with that. I'm bambling again. Take care, guys. Till next time. Take care.